Oh, hi everyone. So I made it up here to the Guild. So I am up here at the Milton Artist Guild and I'm just getting everything situated. I'm having a very healthy breakfast. This is the blueberry almond crisp Cliff Bar. So I'm going to be taking teeny little bites of it as I go along. Hopefully I don't get a blueberry stuck in my I have this big table that I can work on. I brought my Boro sashiko stitching up here, and I'm sitting in the back. I'm not doing a demo or anything like that today. I'm up here specifically to tend to my table, to work on this piece and or this piece, which I worked on a little bit more. This is the Kawandi piece that is over on the Patreon video. That's what that is. So I'm gonna put that over there. When you're heading out the door, um, to go work somewhere else as an artist, for me anyway, it's really difficult because I'm always thinking I'm going to something that is more creative, like than what I brought. So with that, I'm gonna stand up and I'm going to use this table space to spread this quilt out because I brought with me a viz the I want to put hearts and I want the hearts to kind of really jump out today. And so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand up and I'll be standing up and sitting down, but we're gonna use this space. Um and this is what I love about the guild and getting out. It gets me out. They don't care if you come up here and work. So this is the quilt. And I gotta watch my coffee because I really need a cup of coffee. At this point, I was trying to find a gas station, and I found a gas station on the way up here, and it was kind of odd. I think it was just for trucks, but usually they specify that. So I'm gonna get I didn't bring my little Pekin scissors, but I brought my large scissors, which I should have brought my little ones, and I brought my needles there. So because we have to be stitching, and I want to cut out some hearts, and I brought my measure, which I probably don't need. But I was looking at this, and this is very, very, very lovely. I really, really, really like it. So I want to put a heart over here and get that sewed on today. I'm gonna use this time up here today to get this done. People were asking about it. But the thing is, I typically would have come back to this at the end of the month, but because I got a request to display my work somewhere else, some other work, right? So I got to focus the two other places actually. We have the exhibit for the bridge and then an upcoming display in June. Where it is and stuff, yeah, I'm not sure. But because of that, and what I do is prioritize and reprioritize. So anyway, that's the key. And I think it's super important to do that as an artist because if you get asked to be in an exhibit and you really want to be in that, go for it. That's kind of what I did. Now, because we're live, you're going to hear people around us talking. You're going to hear things moving around. Hi, how are you?
How are you doing?
Pretty good. This is an artist. You want to say hello on my YouTube?
Hi, YouTube.
And this is an artist here. He's here at the Milton
Hi,
Artist Guild.
El
He's,
Toll is my name. I taught art for many years,
he's an art teacher.
and now I'm retired and doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Loving it.
You're doing the painting, right? You
Yeah, I
paint
do. I mostly paint. Yeah,
and it's
trained in
beautiful
oil,
work.
work in acrylic.
Beautiful work too.
I taught pastel, watercolor, acrylic.
Oh,
I
are
had
you
grades
teaching
I
now?
had grades, 1 through 12,
Oh,
so I watched them
God.
grow up.
Those are
No,
good grades. Oh, 1
yeah,
through 12. 1
yeah,
through 8 is good, and then after
1 through
that.
12, can you believe it? Well, I'll let you get back
Thank
to
you so
your
much. Thank you so
yeah.
much. See,
Oh, yeah.
you get out there, you meet people. This is what it's about. This is what it's about. And so, what I'm going to do is trim. I'm going to trim this. I guess I'm not going to trim it. Oh yeah, I did see. I saw a couple little, oh, you know what that is, read from another project. This is why you got to get your projects done and put away, because let me put this down. Because what happens is this is a little piece of wool. I'm gonna put that over there. And how nice of him to come over and say hello to us. I mean, really, what I want to do is interview artists on a more formal basis at some point. I want to do interviews because look, everyone has a creative process, right? And I love to hear more about the creative process. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I selected these this morning with the idea that I want something that totally pops and meaning completely different from everything that I've got here. And I found this piece of fabric, which before I hadn't been able to find, and that's the one I wanted because I have, if you look here, and I'm not matching like on purpose. I'm just saying like where my eye and my feelings go. I know that I have the black and white buffalo plaid right here, the little miniature, and then I have the swirly swirls. And but this I don't have. And so I want to add this as a heart. And I'm going to cut that out. I kind of wish I had my smaller scissors, but I don't. So you're gonna hear noise in the background because what they do here is they set up displays. Okay, they set up the displays for the artists here. And I'm in the back where, it's hopefully, I mean, they've got stuff out around, so they are working here in the back too. Hi, Lorraine. It's you say hello. I'm on YouTube. You can say hello. This is Lorraine. She is, you would be the go-to for an artist to ask questions to, right? If they wanted to join.
Possibly, yeah. They might want to talk with our director though.
Our director, Karina. We have Karina's the director, and we have Judy working here and Jessica, I believe. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just finishing up this Boro sashi coat, not matched. So I'm going to cut out some parts with this design. And I think this is going to pop. Now, this is vintage. This totally is a vintage fabric. And so I would like to add that to this project. So that's what I'm going to do. And this makes me get this done. This is partly why I wanted to be part of this guild is to get me out, give me the deadlines that I need, make me get this stuff done. Look at this one. How adorable is that? That's scrap bees. I'm totally doing a heart out of the bees. So we're going to do a heart there. And now I'm going to stop with those. I'm going to make those 3 hearts. And then I'm going to place them and see how we do with the placement. I want to make sure you see this whole thing. Yeah, you see the whole quilt. Okay. So we will do that. And this is this is Aztec design. It's a lightweight cotton. I will tell you that. This is not um heavily woven. It's a lightweight, highly pressed. So but it's an older piece for sure. Now, this is a newer contemporary piece, absolutely newer piece, but it was in the scrap fabrics, and that's what I want, is to be able to use up the scrap fabrics. So, and let's see, I love this over here. That's look, I have bees over there. How just too cute is that? But I'm gonna put them up there and those hearts there. And then this is my vintage. And well, I want to say thank you for being here, everybody. I have to remember to look at this. Good morning. Now, part of that is cut off commenting, but I don't think. Yeah, I know you're there. Hi. Hi, Brianna. Yeah, everything's working. We're here. We are here. Hi. What I'm gonna have to do is remember to kind of look up. So, because what I really want to do is finish this piece. So I will look up for questions if you have any questions, as long as you can see the piece. And yes, I see everyone. Love and light to you too. Love and light to you too. We are all here ready to go, by George. I had to drive up in the rain. I'm going to tell you it is raining. I was concerned about that, but it is not raining to the point where I can't see this and that. So I use this one. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. So I use this one. Yeah, I'm gonna use this. Now, do I have my pins? Yes. This is the thing when you're packing and getting ready to head out of the here, I should probably type in there that yes, I can see you all, just so others can know that yes, we are here. I see you all. Welcome. Love. Oh, where's the Ian thingy majiggy? Sorry about that, everyone. Love and light. That's my thing. There. Okay, now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is start sewing my hearts on, because this is finishing it. Because guess what? I brought a piece. I actually want to do a heart with that too. But I brought this piece for the backing. I want to get the backing on today in this session. I want to get it on in the session. Forgive me for taking a little piece of my healthy blueberry. I showed this at the beginning, but I show it again because this is so very, very good. You don't even need to eat the whole bar. You eat part of it and you totally get energy. So I'm gonna cut out her, it's blue, and then I'm gonna start sewing. But I'll have to remember to look at your comments. I am working, so I do have the screen down a teeny bit there. It's down, uh, but I will look up frequently. And I'll probably put this over on this side. Yeah, like that there. I got a heart there. Now, this is the thing. If you look at it too much, if I'm gonna put this up for a second. If you start looking at your work too much with Boro Sashiko, you've lost the whole concept. You want to just go with the flow. The second you start trying to match everything, it's you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose the whole um point, which is using your scraps with an energy and flow that's positive and wonderful. Feels good to you. Um, so let's see. There's good lighting back here. I feel really good about that. I almost brought my little light. I don't know. I'm going to share this with you because I don't know if any of you out there have a light that plugs into your computer specifically to give you more light when you're doing your videos, to share, or you're taking images, you're just working at your computer. Um, okay, so I'm gonna bring this down here, fold this a little bit. Oh, you're okay. You guys can talk. It's okay. You can talk as much as you want. It's okay. They know we're live. It blocks out the background noise, so you're okay. We have some very conscientious artists. They're whispering, and I'm like, it's okay. You can talk. So here we go. I am stitching here. This heart. This is the vintage piece. I definitely want that on there. It's different from all the fabrics that I have, so it really does pop. I mean, that is nice. And so I'm gonna be sewing on, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna sew on 4 little hearts. And then from there, what we're gonna do is just put the backing on, and then we'll be done. This piece will be done because I am happy with the hearts. Now, what I will be doing is double checking. For those of you who are working on your projects out there, double check your seams. Make everything, because I'm going to do that because it's very, very, very easy to skip a seam. And if you skip it and you start to put your backing on, and then your backing is on there, well, there is a way you can salvage that. You can certainly come back around and do just stitch in the top. That's all you're going to do. I'll put it this way, maybe you can see better there. And yeah, so actually I have to always have this on an angle that I'm working. So there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay. So this is going to be, I'm going to be very happy this will be done because I could display it in the, I'm not even sure exactly which building yet or the town it's going to be displayed. So I don't have that. And I think the coordinator who asked me, they've wanted to first ask me and make sure I'm saying yes and all of that. And then we get all the information after. So I'm really super duper happy about that. I love this heart. Now, what I want to do here is I do want to go back and forth a couple of times. Now I have a design. Now, this is what I encourage everyone that if you have a design, work on your design if you want to. See if there are any questions so far. No, but if you have a design, work on it and use it to your advantage like this. You can use that if you want to do your sashiko stitching right on those lines, or you want to make little stars in the squares. That's something that you can do. But I'm super happy we're going to get this done today. So I'm going to go back and forth on this. Just I got a little blur on the screen, but I can see that you can see it. And I just love coming up here to the guild. Now, there may be another artist coming up to visit. If you came in later, if you rewind to the beginning after, you'll meet an artist who stopped by. He was working here. We stopped over to say hello. He and I were sitting next to each other Saturday at the event, and he gives you his name. He was an art teacher. He's an artist. He's a very good artist. I will have to get a formal interview with him. He has some paintings over here, and they are just gorgeous. So he's at the beginning, right at the beginning here. And that's what I love. He came over and said hello, was very kind, um, and welcoming. There. So look, we're almost done with this heart. This is not a long, long project today, but it's a perfect one to come up here and just be here at Milton Artists Guild. And Milton Artists Guild, let me tell you what, they have honey for sale up front. They have candles, woodwork. We'll do another pan through. I'm trying to think when we'll do that. Very soon we'll do another pan through. And I gotta check my table before I leave again. I want to make sure it's nice and neat and all of that. And are any of you in guilds? Are any of you part of an artist community? Because it takes you out of your element. It takes you out into other realms, what other artists are doing and stuff like that. It inspires you. So look, we're almost done with this heart. And it's looking just lovely. And I thank you so much for your comments this morning, for being here. And yeah, that was kind of a bonus to get that artist stopping by to say hello like that. And you heard him, he taught art all those years to the school, he taught all levels. I mean, you've got to be extremely talented, right? To do that. You have to, because you have to talk with different age groups and different mindsets, different skill levels, and you're doing that on a constant basis. And, you have to consider where everyone is at. So, anyway, let's see. Yes, everything is working. So, and we jumped on a little early again. So we said about 11. I think I was on here pretty close to 11. I can't read that. Yeah. This event is for everyone today. So anyway, I think that's the question you're asking. Okay. It's for everyone today. I'm going to put this down and I'm going to I got my work shirt on. I got to take my work shirt off there. Okay. And we're going to turn this way. I guess I'm just going to work a little bit. There we go. We're going to finish up this heart. Beautiful. I'm loving the way this is looking. This is a beautiful heart. And we have so many art projects on the agenda. And we'll be coming up here more because during the warm weather, I can get up here more. I can travel easier. And when it comes winter, I'm pretty much walking in my own place or around. I could get to a coffee shop and work. I can get to I don't know, I could get to another I don't think there isn't another guild actually down near me. So not that you can go into. Okay, so I think we're finished with this. I'm going to do one more stitch. And here we go. Okay. So we have added a heart, and let's see, I have that one and this one. So I'm just going to put this back. I'm just bringing you along with me on the designing. If you have questions, let me know. And yes, I see, your messages. And I am live on YouTube and I'm sharing with Patreon. So yes, I will see your comments over there and I can go over there after and comment, but you can comment here too because I see them. Okay, everything's working beautifully the way it should. Brianna. Okay, so I'm going to put this down so you can see. And I'm going to actually turn this. No, I guess I'll leave that like that. This one I'm going to put down there. Yeah. That one. Okay. I'm going to switch my thread. And like I said, where is it? Anybody who's out there, Cliff Bar Blueberry. I'm just going to take little bites of it as I'm going along, just because of the timing. And I didn't want to push this out too far. So what I'm going to do, we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 hearts to kind of want to turn that this way. Now you can't hear it, but there's beautiful music playing. There's people talking. There's a rain outside. It's beautiful here. And I highly advise to get to a beautiful place, get beautiful things in your mind, and focus on the positives like that. It helps with your creativity a lot. It really does, because if you turn the news on, I don't know about you, but I don't think it's super duper positive. I'm going to take this and move it over here. And that way I think you can see a little bit better. Yeah, I'm working right here. So I'm going to sew these little bees on. Look how adorable that is. And look, against the black and the hot pink and the blue. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. There's a little yellow there. That's okay. I mean, that's just beautiful. You look at the piece that you are placing and keep your focus on the energy, the emotions that are flowing from the piece, not on external stuff around you and negatives. You focus on that piece. This is both things. It's Kawandi inspired and it's Boro Sashiko. This is where, oh, excuse me, our ancestors, okay, they learned to really embrace energy that was around them and in them. Now, we are very diverse, and this is my opinion, but I think we're very diverted nowadays, right? With TV, with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Like I said, the news stuff. So it can really divert you and bring you into a mindset that is just focused on maybe just even one track, stuff that's not healthy for you, worrying or anxiety, whatever it is. But the art if you start working it, you start doing your art. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee. You start doing your art, it brings you to a healthier mindset. That's what this is. One of the members who's flowing in and out of Patreon beautifully, she is seeing the Kwandi. That the Kwandi, yes, the Kwandi is meditative. Her She was commenting it's meditative, and it is meditative. And Boro, your handwork, like you'll hear crocheters say the same thing. It's meditative. It's getting in the zone. And it's almost like, I'm just going to say this is for me. Art, your art, it's highly spiritual. It could be. For me, it is. And for me, it is. And when you connect it like that, you connect it to meditation, this and that. It's how shall I say? It's like your rock almost. It's your go-to. It's like, okay, the news upset me. Start doing your artwork and nothing upsets you. It just is. It's just the way it is. It all becomes insignificant. Look how adorable that is. That's just beautiful. I'm just looking, I'm just looking how far you can see. You can see here. I don't know if I can point this. This, yeah, right here. This is my finger. Right there, that's all more artwork on display, paintings. You can see the paintings. Anyway, yeah, if that's kind of where, and oh, and then a friend of mine, I was thinking that too, she has a family member who is an art therapist. And I mean, right? Art therapy. That's something I actually did study for a while. That is totally, I would say, very effective to help people focus on positive. I mean, because they finish doing their work, no matter if it's therapeutic or not, but you finish doing your work and it feels really good. It's really positive. This is gorgeous. Now, I'm going to turn this one this way. And I've got two more hearts. And I'm just going to move the camera up here a little bit. And okay. We go. Getting our little threads here. And so, yeah, I was so happy to get here today, and everything is working. I really have to emphasize that because I keep getting a comment here and there. If you are having, for you, bring your questions to the Patreon support. So I put the link in there for you and other people who are having questions. Everything is working beautifully. And I purposely came on to YouTube today, and I am just sharing it out there as an extra for the Patreons who want to see it. It will populate over there after. So I'm hoping that's answering the question for you specifically. really want to focus on our art and not worry about the electronics. I'm just so happy to see everybody here. And as people come in and out, and you have to go to work, this is the time that some people have to go to work, and you can come back and check it out after. But this is definitely behind the scenes, impromptu working. And then we've got, just so I can finish up this quilt, as we have had requests for the Boro sashiko to be finished. And I wasn't going to finish it, like I said, till the end of the month, but I decided I'm going to do this today. I'm totally going to do this today. Well, welcome, welcome. I'm happy to see you. If you have any comments or questions on what we're doing, let me know. I am finishing up the quilt, putting the hearts on. And yes, I can see your comments. I can see you. I'm happy to have you. Come on in. This is a beautiful, beautiful, it actually is a beautiful quilt. And, you know, it just kind of came to me the other day. I was like, this is gorgeous. I mean, this is what I have to do. I have to have that time to look at it. But if you look at this, you look at this quilt objectively for a minute, it really is beautiful. I mean, and it takes me time. That's why I have to sometimes let my work sit. Even with the needle felted bears, I get to a point where I get all the body parts together and I need to let it sit for at least a day or so to get my perspective. So then I go to another project. But yeah, I'm so happy we're all here today. And yes, you can ask questions if you have any. And I can see you. And I'm happy to see you. I'm going to be going live up here again on the 20, I think it's the 23rd. And we're going to do live just like we've been doing live, just like we're doing today, just like we've been doing all these last few months. But it's going to be, I believe it's the 23rd, but I'll let you know the closer we get doing today, just like we've been doing all these last few months. But it's going to be, I believe it's the 23rd, but I'll let you know the closer we get to it. And it's going to be an event. So we will all be talking to each other. And thank you. I see you all jumping on. Oh, thank you so much, Ellen. Thank you so much. Yeah, I came up here to finish this specifically just for you. And this is what I'm doing. I'm just doing my sashiko stitching right now. I'm stitching on this heart. I wanted to pick a fabric that was different from all the other fabrics. That's the heater up behind me if you hear it. This is the joy of getting out. You get to experience things maybe you wouldn't at home. But yeah, I'm so happy to see you all. And you know, our Patreon's growing, our YouTube community is growing. And which is why I came on today. I want to make sure which is why I came on today. I want to make sure YouTube gets their lives, gets their videos, and we get these projects done together. But this one I may end up for display, and I don't know yet. I want to see. I actually want to do a Kiwandi, and like I was showing at the beginning. Here, I'll show you here. Over on Patreon, we did this very specific piece. This is a Kiwandi design, and then we did the stitching, and that was in the members. And And right here, you can see this piece got centered. That doesn't always happen perfectly with Kawandi, but it did with this. And there is a person who works on Kawandi commenting on it and whatnot. I just love that, the different techniques and ways that you can create, because you think there's one way and then you end up finding out there's many ways. So with this heart, I'm going to go around again. And I love this table I get to work on. It's just lovely. It's big. It's beautiful. I can move around here. And in my place, my table is half the size. So it really makes a difference for me as an artist to get out. And they let us come up here to work. So if another artist wants to come on up here and work next to me, they can. And that's part of our membership. That's part of what we do to keep this place going. Is we do our artwork, we put it out for sale, we help each other, we help customers as they come in. For example, if a customer came in, I would help them if they wanted help. I wouldn't just like ignore them, like, because that's part of my membership, right? I would help them out. So that's part of what we do. So if you want to be a member, if you want to be a member, that's and you're in Vermont. I don't know, Judy, do people have to be in Vermont to be a member? Oh, they can. Okay, so you heard it from Judy herself. If you are not in Vermont and you want to be a member of the Artist Guild here, Milton Artist Guild, you can. And guess what? They have honey for sale up front. They have candles, they have maple syrup, they have all this stuff. But yeah, you can become a member. So I think that's just wonderful. And so that's something I learned today, is that you can become a member even if you're in another state. And how about that? So I'm going to put this down. And I mean, there are artists who do that. They will, the heat just shut off. So they will, let's say they live where I live in Vermont, and they decide they want to join a guild over in New York. Okay, you can. It's the same here. You can join this guild here in Little Vermont if you want to. And this guild is getting a lot of attention, and it's for good reason. It's because they really they don't mess around here. They have workshops. They're right on with they're innovative, they're right on with doing things like every month. So I am going to tie this, and you can see this is my backing. So I'm tying this, and I only have, guess what? I think I only have a couple of hearts. Let's see what we have, because guess what? We're getting ready to do the backing. And I'm so happy people are checking in. And it's so wonderful to see our community coming together. So we have one heart left to do. And with this heart, what we're going to do is turn it this way. And let me just turn this. Now, with this particular piece, you can see, hello, welcome. With this particular piece, you can see that I have this is an opening here. You can see that I have the top where I could put a dowel through. And I haven't done anything with it because I'm not sure what I want to do with it. So that piece I'm just leaving for the moment. And I don't even know if I truly use it, to be honest with you, because I can build a space right behind there with to put a dowel in. I can build it right behind the top there. I can show you how to do that. It's super easy, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. So with this, we're gonna sew our last piece, our last heart on, and I'm gonna take another look at it. I'm gonna double check my edges, and then we're gonna be ready to put on our packing. And this is what I call a minimal sashiko piece because I have like sashiko stitching in the middle. Let me show you this. In the middle of the pieces there, I have a lot of sashiko stitching. You see here. But I don't have it in every single piece because this piece I really wanted to emphasize and have the designs of the fabrics dominate the piece because the these are the recycled pieces, diversity. These represent to me diversity, everything different coming to. I just love this. So I didn't want to cover up, let's say, these pieces like this. This has, you can see right here, this has a design right in the middle, and it's just lovely. But I didn't want to do that, the stacking, let's say, to every single piece. So what I'm going to do is sew this on, and that's how we're going to do it. Okay, now some more artists coming in. I just love it. I really, really do. And like I said, I just learned that today that you don't have to be an artist up in Vermont to join this guild. So how awesome is that? I mean, so I'm going to take a little bite of this blueberry. I should be eating when I'm doing my artwork, but I am up here only because I want to keep my nutrition and my energy and a good focus on this. And if I get hungry and because it is around lunchtime or any of that, I want to be able to keep my focus. So I'm going to put this down so you can see this beautiful, beautiful heart, blue. I picked blue to really contrast, but it goes really beautifully with the red. Of course, makes you think red, white, and blue. This is totally a contemporary piece, but that's okay. That's what this is about. It's about diversity. It's about using scraps. It's about eco-friendly art, bringing it together, keeping our focus on using these pieces to make, whether you want it to be a decorative piece or a functional piece, whatever it is you want it to be, using your scraps to do that. Let's see. Hi. And if you want to share anything, please do. I'm more than happy to have you share. I'm bopping up looking at the screen every now and then, focusing on finishing this piece today with everyone. So, and I bring you along with me because we did start this project, right? Let me think here. It was a little while ago we started this project. It was definitely a month ago. And we got all our scrap pieces. We talked extensively about Japanese patchwork because that's what this is. Yes, it's a Boro method, but the Japanese patchwork and the way I did this particular piece uses minimal sashiko stitching. So because of it, because of the minimal sashiko stitching, it creates a very different effect. It lets the fabrics show, like the design of the fabric show. It lets you play around a little bit more with emphasizing maybe a certain design, like what I'm doing with the hearts. So you can do that because this is the reason. Let me put this up because I have my coffee. If you have Boro Sashiko or even Kwandi, and you have your overstitching, you're going to have your overstitching inevitably in your piece because you're going to go with Kawandi, you're going to go round and round. With Boro Sashiko, you're going to go horizontal, vertical, or both. But you're going to use all of that, all of those stitches. Excuse me. When you do your patchwork, when you do this patchwork, you're focusing on, yes, visible stitching so people can still see it. And it adds such a subtle and just, I don't know, I just totally love it. I want to say earthly, ancient, rough, rustic, kind of those, even vintage, but it adds that flair automatically. So if you have the piece like that stitched all the way around, or you're doing minimals, you're doing just some designs like this in parts and pieces of the quilt, it gives you, let me say, more leeway to design in a way that you want. So when you do, so when you do your Boro, so if you're doing a different method, you're doing your Boro Sashiko building, and you're going along, you're placing your fabrics, and then you're doing full sashiko stitching on all your pieces. You don't necessarily, I mean, yes, you can add your stacked pieces like that. You can add your hearts, you can, but it's going to be a different effect. So that's the thing. It's all about what the vibe is you want, what the effect is that you want. Um, and do you focus on that right from the beginning? Maybe you do, or you let the piece, because this is the beautiful thing about Kawandi and the beautiful thing about Boro is because you're using the scrap pieces, the pieces start to take a life of their own on. Like the pieces actually, in my opinion, in my experience, they actually, hello there, they actually start to dominate your design. So you might start that design out saying, well, I'm going to do a I don't know, maybe a folklore, a folksy kind of a vibe, and then you end up and it's more of a renaissance. I don't know, I'm just using an example, but like a renaissance or even Parisian or Aztec. And the reason is because you ended up with these pieces that are creating that beautiful, beautiful vibe. You ended up with that. So you start to like, okay, I'm going to add to that. I'm going to nurture that particular design. Okay, so I got that heart on. And now the other thing, and I did not bring my markers with me. Not, and I knew maybe there was something I was forgetting, but I really wasn't sure if I really was going to even get that far. Because now I'm going to put this up because I want to explain this to you. And if you have any questions, well, hello there, Denise. Hi. So we are at the point where I have finished putting my hearts on. And so these hearts are on. And the thing I wanted to tell you is, I'm just going to put this down a little, that on these areas, so for example, this particular patch here, or even this patch, these patches, if you wanted to write, or even this would be a good one, you wanted to write a message, because guess what? Way back in the ancient times, and I mean hundreds of years ago, they were actually would write messages onto their patches. Now, I'm not talking about a Boro, Sashiko culture. I'm talking about Western, the United States. So that's what they would do. They actually would have a quilt full of different messages that they wanted people to know, and or their loved one, if they were making this for a loved one and there was something specific they wanted them to know. So how's that? And and it's just another what's that? And it's just another way to emphasize your own artistic ability. It's like you can use different fonts, you can write, you could sew the messages on, you could write the messages on, whatever it is that you want to do. So now, this piece is complete, and focusing on completing this, what I'm going to do is just what I was telling you earlier, is I am going to check all of my seams here and make sure that everything is connected. So that's what I'm going to do. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to take my threads and I'm just going to trim them as I go along. I'm putting my hand down there so I can feel if there's anything coming apart. Because for me anyway, if I just look at it, sometimes I'll miss. So I kind of just go like this. And that way, if there is something loose, I can actually sew it. And here we go, right here. Here's a piece. It's very obscure, and that's not something I would catch. But and this is exactly what happened. This piece shifted a little bit. So when I was sewing this piece, it didn't catch it. So I'm going to fix that one right now. We're going to do that. And if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to put the backing on next, and then this will be done. So I'm really, really excited about the backing. I think it's going to be wonderful. And then this is just another piece of art to actually this piece might be a piece that gets displayed. And I was worried about having enough between, I have so many, I really do have enough. Well, hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm checking for the seams, I'm just going to turn this towards me, and I am going to reinforce that seam. And I'm going to go from the back. Now, if I had my backing on and then I saw that, I would just work in the top stitch. And that's how I would do it. But what I'm going to do is I can go, because I don't have my backing on, I can go right through my base. I'm going to put this down, and I'm just going to emphasize this, and I'm going to check the back and make sure that nothing is loose on the first row, the original initial row that was there. So I just turn it around I'm just going to do this and double check and make sure. Yeah, and that all looks good. See, what happens is your tails will get naturally locked into your stitches. That's why if you leave your tails a little bit long, they get naturally locked. So I'm going to tie this. This is good. I got that. Now, if I didn't go through the piece and start moving the fabrics, I wouldn't have found it. So that's how, well, welcome. So that's how I find the pieces. Let's see here. That's how I found that piece because it was so obscure that I wouldn't have found it. So now there's another little piece up here. I'm noticing right there, the corner. So I want to make sure I get that. And this side is all good, but this is why you kind of do a little sweep, because when you're doing even if you're doing piece by piece and you're building your patchwork, you might decide to, gee, I want to get that other piece on here. And then for some reason you've lost a few stitches. This is just a few. This is on the corner. So I really want to get this together. And I'm just going to say, welcome again. Welcome again. And let's see here. It's hard to see these keys. Thank you for being here. Boom. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. And there's something very relaxing and beautiful about stitching all in all, whether you're doing a small piece or you're doing a large piece like this. And this is what it's about, is using your art to relax or create. But now I'm going to come up this way. I'm going to turn. You notice I turn it, and the only reason I do that is because for me, it just seems so much easier to stay, to do my running stitches, my sashiko stitches, and it just seems easier that way. And whatever it works for you. So now you can see this piece started to lock in the stitches there a little bit. And you want to keep your knots loose, but you definitely want to keep them a little bit long when you clip them. Okay, so this piece is pretty well done, and I'm just going to check the end here. I turn it the same way because I really don't want to, if I turn it a different way, then I have a different perspective. There, so that's beautiful. Okay. Hi everyone. Does anybody have any questions? So happy to see you. Okay, so we have done what we just did was just double check the to see if any seams were open here. And I always do that clean sweep of the Boro, Sashiko, Kawandi, whatever I'm doing before I put my backing on, because sometimes there is a loose corner or something shifted, or and you want to patch it over and this and that. So now I grabbed a piece of fabric. Let's see, and I'm going to be honest with you, I did not measure it up against this, so I'm not sure. If it doesn't fit, this will end the video. And if it is a size we can use, let's see here. I just want to see if I don't use my top because I'm not so sure I even want to use it because I have to do more decor if I do. Now, what I'm thinking of with this, it could be back to back, or it could be just enjoying watching. Well, thank you so much, Denise. You enjoy, that's okay. You can watch and no one is obligated to you relax and watch how you want to watch. You can whatever ever is good for you. Not, yeah, definitely. So what I'm gonna do, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm liking the size. I'm liking the size. This is now for those of you who have not put a backing to your quilts, there is something called back to front where you have your backing. Now let me just check this. Oh, this does have, look, that does have an opening. If I did want to just put this right over the topping that I already have, I could do that. Wow, that just happened to work out. That was not even planned, but that's a wonderful creative way to where you can have an opening for your dowel so that it can go up on the wall if that's what you want. If you want it to be a wall piece. And if you want it to be a quilt, for your bed or whatnot, then you don't need to even worry about that, right? So I'm going to move the computer back a little bit. I'm gonna move that, and so we have space to work here. And just gonna put you out there a little bit. I will try to double check in on you as I do this. Okay, so anyway, with backing, you have back to front where you have your backing like this and you're folding it over so that your piece has a beautiful frame. It has a beautiful frame. Or you can go back to back. So back to back is just simply you're folding this in the back and this has a backing, but it's folded. But it's folded underneath. It's not folded on top of your piece. So I forgot my little Pekin scissors. So um these are big. These are really big. Okay, so we have got this. Yeah, some of you who came in late, you missed the artist who stopped by here. He was somebody who was here this weekend with us. It was right next to me. He's a fellow artist and he taught art for many, many years. So he was sharing a little bit about that. And it was just a lot of fun. So that's at the beginning of the video. And it's from the Milton Art Guild, and we'll go back live again. As I was saying, I think it's the 23rd. It's either the 23rd or the 25th. So there's a couple ways here I can do this. I can fold this over and I can fold it over and leaving my space open here. So that's one way to do it. Or because I feel like maybe I don't want to use this piece. So I'm just going to leave it there and I'm just going to do a back to front hem. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll be folding this over like this, and we're going to do our sides first. And I have a lot of fabric here, but I'm going to kind of leave it like that because I would like to be able to fold it a few times. And I don't have my long measure with me, my board. So this has a little extra there. So I'm just going to pull that over and Yeah, I've got enough down there, but that's a little off. And so I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to bring this up a little bit. There. I'm going to pin that because that's where I want it to stay. For the moment. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to just fold around this. And then we're going to call it good. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, Denise. I saw a video about some women in Alabama or Mississippi doing quilts, and producers did not seem to recognize that this traditional quilts include African quandary. Or cantha? Are you saying cantha? Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know that the women in Alabama you're talking about, they have roots in Africa. Beautiful quilts. Their quilts are in the metro right now. I was a quilt and lap of one of the quilters. While all the quilts being featured were pieced style quilts. Yeah, I did actually a video on the women that you're talking about in Alabama. And yeah, the producers yeah, I know what you're talking about. They didn't recognize, isn't that something? Yeah. Um well, it seems to be, I don't know if it's a lost art or not discovered art. And it's one that we definitely want to promote. And I'm trying to think of the this is why we say inspired. We do not say authentic. I do not. Some people do call their work authentic. The Boro stems from Asia. The Kawandi goes back to city women in India and stems from Africa. The Kantha is in India, but there is another style that's very similar to the Kawandi for sure, and in Alabama. Not a lost art. It is not lost. It is actually newly discovered. People are actually, and it's ancient. It's an ancient art, and there's lots and lots of people jumping on board with it. But the word inspired is the key. So I'm going to put this down. I'm going to show you how. This is how I do it anyway. And that's another reason why I call it inspired, because this is a Carmella way. And I always turn this towards me so I can work. And there, you can see me working here. And I fold the pieces. And that's all I do. I fold and pin. I just fold the backing right up on top. I'm not doing highly measured this and that. And I'm just folding. And I just go all the way up like that. And I go all the way around. And you want to say, well, how much do you need to do that? And it's all up to you. If you want your hem to be wide, you want it to be thin. Mine is usually about 1.5 to 2 inches is plenty to fold. And then if I think it's a bit much, I will cut it, trim it. I will trim it. And I typically trim the piece around what I'm working on. But for the sake of time today, and we really want to finish up as we've been on for a little bit, definitely just want to get this part done, and then we can actually celebrate that, yay, we finished our piece. And I'm going to turn this around this way towards me. And we got all that pinned. We have excessive over here. So that's a bit much. There. And that's beautiful. Do you have any questions thus far? And Denise says, sometimes the light is on there, so I'm looking at it. Yes, art evolves. I love being felt influences across time. Yes. There's many. The culture, I think, is the cultural arts. This is the beauty of our art world. And then from there, people get inspired and then they create their own thing. But I'm going to trim this part here for a minute here. Using the scrap fabrics, I think, is where we began in history. And I think where we need to end up. I think we need to focus more and more and more on that. And to curve the waist as much as we can. And these arts, all of these arts, this is how they started, is using their scraps that were part of their family clothing. Many of these, Boro Sashiko, and in Africa, in Kawandi, and in Africa, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, making memory blankets of their loved ones. So history teaches us to, adapt that mindset. Make something beautiful out of what you have. Put your own flair to it. That's why I have to call it inspired, because I cannot, just because of my personality, I cannot go by a step by step. I just can't. I never could. I can learn it, but then I will take it and create something that's a Carmella friendly version. But for Boro, I always call it Boro inspired. For Kawande, I call it Kawande inspired. Why do I call it that? If I'm changing everything about it, I call it that because when you look at it, predominantly it's Boro. It's a Boro design. Predominantly it's Kawande. It's a Kawande design. So I'm not going to pretend it's a Carmella design. So anyway, with that, now you can see we have our hem there, and I'm going to do the bottom. You got any questions thus far? Hi, Laura. How are you? Okay. So welcome everyone. Okay. So now we're at the bottom here, and this is really off base a little. So I'm going to trim this a little bit on this side and take it from there. There. Do you love it? I love it. This is Judy with us. You want to jump on and say hello? This is Judy. She works at, careful with the chair. She works here she keeps everything going here at the Milton Art Guild. Let's put it that way. This is beautiful. Thank you so much. This is the back to the front hemming. So we got the back because it needs to be ironed, and then just fold it to the front and then stitch. And then stitch it down? Yeah. And that's by hand. And yeah, I added the little hearts. We added more hearts this morning. This is Japanese patchwork. So it's not, it's like minimal sashiko stitching. So it's not that we're doing all of it, like we're
Right,
stitching.
right.
We're doing our edges. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. So see, Judy's saying how beautiful it is, everyone.
Oh, it's so unique.
And this is
You
these,
embroidered.
yep,
Yeah,
French knot.
yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. And this is stacking. This is called Boro stacking, where you're just taking the scrap pieces and you got smaller and
Yeah.
smaller. Yeah. So
Good work.
yeah, thank
Love
you
it.
so much. See, this is why I come up here, everybody. And but it's important to get out, get your frame of mind, keep it positive. Laura says, I love the materials you're using with the history, aka secondhand used thrift. Yeah. This is a thing. It's a cult. This is cultural inspiration. It's inspired by a culture that did this for hundreds and hundreds of years. They perfected what they did. With the Kawandi here, this piece going around. This is ingenious. Kawandi is I can't think of another word, ingenious, because and I didn't finish this piece, but as you just go around the pieces, every single piece adheres beautifully. It's just an ingenious way to stitch and to put these together. So, yeah, this is all inspired, and it's one of the many ways I look to work with scrap fabrics, and or organic. Now, there's artists out there. There's artists out there, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right. You can do whatever you want, but they'll take a piece and it's gorgeous. The piece is absolutely organic, beautiful, beautiful, thick cotton, muslin, whatever it is. It's a lovely. And then they'll just take maybe another piece and they won't use this thread. This is a thrift shop. Another reason I call it inspired, but they will use the real sashiko thread, sashiko needle, and they will just do slow stitching and make a wall piece and minimalist. It's gorgeous. And I've made a few pieces like that. They are absolutely stunning. And I will make some for you because a lot of these pieces I've made gifts and give them away. And I will share that with you, but it's a minimalist way to do. However, to get those fabrics, now they are organic, but you're gonna pay for them because they're gorgeous. Something's a little pop-up there, advertisement coming up. Thank you so much, Rita. Thank you. Hey, this is the one that we were working on together. It's all scrap fabrics. Now, the other difference between, although I think, well, I mean, it's up to you. But the difference between what I do is I do consider contemporary fabrics. I just do, because I want to add these, I want to add all the scraps. I don't if they're in front of me and I can turn them into a piece that is functioning, I want to do that. Um, you do have to consider your washing instructions if you're trying to give this is an art piece. I would not consider this a piece like you're going to give it to someone and they're going to throw it on their bed and throw it in the wash every other week. No, you don't want to do that. So, I'm going to clip a few pieces here. Okay, so Now with this piece, I'm gonna put this down and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So what we're going to do here, I hope you can see, turn this. I'm just so happy to have this table. I'm so grateful to have this space. I'm going to be honest. I don't have a lot of space at my place, and I think it definitely deters me on certain occasions. So anyway, I'm going to fold this over. Now, what I'm doing, I don't know if you can see, but you'll see when I get up there. I'm leaving a space between the top of the folded piece and the very bottom. And the reason I'm doing that, as you will see here very quickly, is that's where I want to put my dowel. I want to be able to slide it in. So this will all be sewn. Let me just get this. It's just a super easy way, because if you enter an exhibit and the exhibit is requires you to have a piece and you're like, well, I want to do my sashiko stitching, but I don't know how to do the dowel thing. What you do is just here, what I'm doing. Yeah, you can see it. I'm simply folding this over. Now, yes, I'm folding it because this is already hemmed. If it was not hemmed, I would fold it just like that, you know what I mean? And then fold it. But because it's hemmed, I already have the privilege. How lucky am I that that is, and it just so happened the design, that just so happened. So this is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. I may have gentlemen out there watching. So this is where you can put the dowel through. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see. And thank you so much. And I mean, it's beautiful because it's just the scrap fabrics. But look at the green. Look how lovely this is. And this is where you put the dowel through. And this does not have to be, dowels come in, for diameters. It could be an eighth of an inch diameter, an inch diameter, half an inch diameter, whatever, so you're going to be like, okay, well, let me just check this out. And you see it's coming down about 2 inches, and just kind of open it up a little bit. Do this, fold it like that way, measure it, okay, and it's giving you about 2 inches. So you want that dowel to be less than that because you don't want it to fit in here tight, tight, tight. And for this size and to hold this amount of fabric, which isn't a heck of a lot. I mean, it is 40 by 40. This is a 40 by 40. The dowel, I could use an eighth of an inch diameter, easy, perfect. It would be totally fine, or a half an inch. I may go with the half an inch. So, this piece is complete. I'm so glad everybody joined me. And this morning or today, I guess we've been on here an hour and a half. I appreciate all your comments and your love and your light, sharing with me. I mean, that's what I come on here for, is to share the art, to share the ideas, and yes, history as we can. I love to do little tidbits, and we'll continue with that. I'm going to give you some history on needle felting because I've been studying that for many, many years. I love the loose, organic flow of your art piece. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate that. And yeah, I do. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not necessarily one of those artists where, like, if the coffee spills, I'm like, oh my goodness, it puts me out of my flow. It takes an awful lot to put me out of my flow, but I do love to work in the flow. If I feel like I'm working mechanically, like just making something to make it, let's say, it doesn't have the same flow. It totally just doesn't. Um, and that's why I love it. Laura says, yes, please, more needle felting. Yes, more needle felting is coming. That is my baby. I've been doing needle felting for over 25 years, and as I said, I started with wet felting the rugs, wet felting dreadlocks. I wet felted dreadlocks. I wet felted vests. I wet felted scarves and Nuno felted them and hats. And actually and this is inspired by Native American, which I am part of, but I did the headdresses for some very specific people here in southern Vermont. And I loved doing that. That was needle felted. They were both wet felted and needle felted, and they were gorgeous. And they took a very long time. It was a lot of work. So and I even got requests for some of them about 20 years ago to use in theatrics. So a few people bought them in theatrics, if you can believe that. So, but yeah, we'll definitely be doing more of the needle felting as I need to focus on some more pieces, and I will bring you along with me for sure. But thank you so much for being with me today, for contributing to our time in making this and being with me. I appreciate it. And with that, you have a beautiful, beautiful day.